Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. Today, we're looking at what happens when the smooth world of Solana transactions meets the messy reality of the open internet. Last time, we looked at blinks. You can think of a blink like a buy now button that can live anywhere, in an email, a chat, or a social media post, instantly kicking off a transaction on the Solana blockchain. But here's the catch. What happens if a user clicks that link and sends a completely blank or broken request back to your server? Imagine an automated drive-thru. The blink is the customer's ordering app, and your action endpoint is the kitchen in the back, waiting to cook. Usually, customers order a burger, but on the web, someone might try to order -5 burgers, or leave the order entirely blank, or ask for a sandwich made of thin air. If the automated kitchen hasn't been told how to handle a negative burger, the system panics. It might freeze up or crash entirely because it doesn't have a plan for that specific kind of nonsense. If your server doesn't have a way to spot these invisible errors in the request URL, your app will break in ways that are very hard to predict or test. To protect the kitchen, we need a strict set of rules right at the front door, a way to reject a bad order before it ever reaches the chef. We use schema validation for this. It acts like a very picky bouncer that cross-checks every digital order form against a checklist of what a real order is supposed to look like. Every time a blink sends information to your server, this bouncer stops the envelope and checks the contents before letting it pass. The checklist requires an action name, a numerical amount, and a version tag. If perfect, like 10 tokens, it turns green and data glides through. But if someone pays with the word banana, the gate shuts, returning a 422 error, meaning the format is wrong. This keeps your core logic safe. You're turning messy, unpredictable human typos into clear, categorized error messages. Now, sometimes the order looks perfect at the gate, but something still goes wrong deep inside the kitchen during the actual cooking process. If your server handles thousands of orders at once, finding the one specific burger that got burnt is nearly impossible without a trail to follow. This is where we use a correlation ID. The server stamps a unique name tag onto every single request the second it arrives. As that request moves through your system, every part of the server makes a note in a digital logbook, always referencing that specific name tag. If an error happens, you don't have to guess. You just search for that ID number and you'll see a complete step-by-step history of exactly what that one request did before it failed. Teaching this kind of organized tracking is a big part of the curriculum at Forge College. Whether you're in our developer programs or just exploring our courses, learning how to create a paper trail for your data is a skill that applies to almost any tech project. These IDs turn a confusing, crowded server into a searchable timeline, making it much easier to spot a bug and fix it. There is one last step. Even after the server finishes processing the data, we need to check the final result before we hand it back to the user. We call this output validation. It's a final scan to make sure the server actually created a real Solana transaction that the user can sign, rather than a broken piece of code. So the workflow is simple. Run a test, trigger the failure, use the name tag to find logs, and apply your fix. Following this cycle helps you build links that handle mistakes gracefully instead of crashing your whole system. To dive deeper into these techniques and explore more Web3 topics, head over to forge.college and check out our learning platform. Building for the blockchain requires systems that handle the moments when things go wrong, just as carefully as the moments when they go right.